What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mars. Kyle Jones is down in the den after dark, aka AD Live this Monday evening. We're gonna have some guests stopping through. We'll probably have the crew. Who knows? Who knows? But you know how we do. We're gonna make lemons out of lemonade or lemonade out of lemons. Or one of them sayings. But anyway, brother, Kyle, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing, man?
Yeah, man, another day in paradise, and we're gonna get this one wrapped up. We tired, but we giving you guys the content because we know you want it, man. We've been working hard, we've been putting things together, getting things in place. Before we even begin, we want to start off the episode with both Virginia boys. So rest in peace to Magoo from Timberland and Magoo, 50 years young, passed away today. Hip hop pioneer, particularly in this area, the 757. So rest in peace. And prayers to his and his family. But this episode, y'all saw what the overlay said. It's all about hip hop. You've heard it everywhere. It's been 50 years of hip hop. Makes me feel hella old.
I know, right?
I'm like 50 years. I'm like, that can't be. Hip hop was just started when I was a kid. I'm like, oh damn, I'm damn near 50. But 50 years of hip hop. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna be talking about some of our favorite hip hop songs, albums. It's gonna be really a celebration episode, and we would love for you guys to come in, give us your favorite songs, chime in wherever you want. We want to hear your voice as a podcast for the people. So much so that Cal just disappeared, but we still gonna make sure we can't have an episode without technical difficulties. But 50 years of hip hop, it's a big deal. So we're gonna start off right now with my favorite. We're gonna start with the worst from the beginning. Worst hip hop act of all time, in our opinion. The worst hip hop act. Could be a group, be a solo person, but we're gonna start off spicy. So, worst hip hop act. Kyle, you give them first. Who do you feel is the worst hip hop act?
So they gotta be a group or individual.
It could be an individual, whatever. It could be individual, be a group. Be a record label, shit. It could be anything you want.
It's a tie between Trinidad James and Designer. So both of them had hot songs, but what made me I guess mad about Designer, one day he said the song real slow. So I was like, oh, he about to kill it, because I used to like the song. And once I heard the lyrics, I was like for real, like I could do this. In Trinidad, I don't know, he just like faded off. Like I thought he was gonna be the next big thing. I don't know why I thought that, but that song didn't age well. I just heard it the other day. I was like, this is horrible. Like Pop the Molly or Sweating, like who? And that was the hottest part of the song.
People still say that. I think I said that the other day. Like I had some spice on my pizza, and I was like, Pop the Molly, I'm sweating. Woo! That's in the like our vernacular.
That doesn't even mean
he popped the Molly. He's sweating. Everybody's been to a club with Pop the Molly once or twice. Who knows? Allegedly, but I mean, I can clearly see where you come from that, but at least those still songs. I don't know about Panda. Panda didn't age that well. No. And that freestyle he did where he was like, Timmy, turd. I really thought, I was like, oh, damn, my man got some, he's on the spectrum. But to me, it's one and one only artist, and that's Iggy Azalea. To me, that is the worst hip hop act.
Oh, no, man.
Man, did you hear that freestyle where she like, her Australian accent came out? She was like, blah, blah, blah. Shit. Even T.I. was like, man, that is my worst regret. And he's got a lot of regrets, but it is not because she's white. Don't get me wrong. It's not because she's white. I think it's because she's really, really not the best rapper. So I think Iggy Azalea. I still like Trinidad James. That one song goes hard. Especially the part where he's like, nigga.
No, but I don't know about. I kind of like Iggy. She had I like her cadence. Like the beats are always good, and I mean, it's a lot of female rappers out now that's like way worse than Iggy.
But that wasn't even her own cadence. Like she's Australian. She was like doing like a black girl from Atlanta imitation. I thought she was from Atlanta. And I just heard her regularly talking. She was like, "Good night, mate," and I was like, "Oh man."
That makes it even better. She was faking it still was good.
We've been seriously blackfish. I don't know. She looks good though. Shout out. She looks amazing. I saw some NBA player look like he was ready to be next on her list, but
Ain't she like on OnlyFans now or something?
I don't know. I have to look that. I mean, I won't look it up, but I'm certainly interested to find it out how she's making money nowadays. So just for journalist purposes, I might check it out to see
Yeah,
what's
we
going
gotta look
on
that up.
there. And we'll give a report back to the people.
We'll get a like a down in the den account.
Exclusive. Yeah, we'll share it. We're just for we can stay on top. Like goddamn, who lives $600 a month on?
Well, we know who that would be.
Short man. All right. So speaking of Iggy Azalea, we're going right to the Nets. We're gonna do something positive. Who do you think is the best female rapper of all time?
I would say Lauryn Hill, but she only had one album, so I gotta.
One album and a live. One album and a live. Remember she did that live MTV Unplugged?
Oh, but that one album may be. I might have to go with Missy. No, I take it back because Missy was like in between. I'm gonna go with Lil' Kim.
It's hard to argue with Lil' Kim because she's probably the one. Although Missy, once again, being from the 757, definitely give her some huge props and talent. Quayshawn says Missy Elliott.
Oh, wait, come on, come on up here.
Come on in, man. We'll send you the link. But it's hard to argue against Missy Elliott, just because she's influenced so many rappers. To me, she's like the female Busta Rhymes, where you can just. It's hard to say she didn't influence so many people. So I would probably say Missy or Lil' Kim as well, because Lil' Kim has some verses, man.
Yeah.
I think Lil' Kim might have more quotable verses than Missy, because Missy be making a lot of sound effects. I love Missy, don't get me wrong, but sometimes her verse she'd be like beep beep, honk honk.
Is she really like a rapper? Or is she a song maker? I don't ever look at Missy like she gonna kill a verse or anything.
Yeah, I don't consider her like a lyricist per se. I think she's just a dope song maker. Half of her best songs she's singing on. And she's a great writer. She's probably the most talented female artist, bar none. But when I'm just thinking rapper and I'm thinking like who I would listen to or who has the best verse, for me it'd probably be Lil' Kim. And that's probably just being a 90s baby. But yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, so we're moving right along. We told you guys it's gonna be a quick episode. Best hip hop group. So a group has to be more than two people. I mean, at least two people. So you can be your Outkast, your if you consider the Throne a group. Kanye and Jay-Z, they had one album. So
can a group be a record label, or it had to be an actual group?
No, we're gonna do best hip hop label later.
Oh, I'm gonna say the Locks, just because. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it's tight between them and Outkast, but the Locks, you just never know who's gonna have the best verse. Like it could have been any one of them, and it seemed like they was always competing. And I love competition, so I'm gonna have to say the Locks.
Did 24-year-old Quay say NWA? Were you even alive with?
No, it wasn't even writing their own stuff, man. They can't say NWA. But I'm gonna say the Locks.
Locks is dope, and they definitely. I don't think anybody necessarily want to see them in the verses. What they did to Dipset still should be. They should be under the prison for that murder I saw on live TV. I was like, stop! He's already dead. Jadakiss, please stop. But for me, it's definitely Outkast. I love it. It was between Outkast. I would say the wu-tang, but that's more of a bunch of individual artists. Like I like the first two wu-tang albums, and then after that, I think gets a little overrated. But Outkast didn't have one album that I didn't like. And there's still like 3 albums that I listened to: Aquemini, Love Below, and Cadillac Funky Music. Like those 3 albums I still listen to. So for me, it's Outkast. Mostly Andre. Big Boy has some verses, but it's really mostly for Andre. So for me, it's Outkast. But NWA definitely honorable mention. Lots I could see that as well. All right, moving right along. This is cool. We're gonna be done before Drew get up there. Best hip hop label. Best hip hop label. We're talking your Death Rows. We're talking your Bad Boys, your So Defs, your No Limit, your Cash Money, Young Money, OVOs, Good Music. It's been a lot of hip hop labels in our lifetime. But your Ruckus, Def Jam. For me, I would say Def Jam, just because they had so many legendary artists signed to Def Jam. Early Def Jam, you got your Run DMC, your LL, of course. And then you have your 90s run where you had your Redman, your Method Man, your DMX, your Jay-Z, and then everything under Jay-Z with Rockefeller. I think was Murder Inc. part of Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
So Murder Inc. was killing it at a time. And of course, the person that's killing it, you know who he is. The one and only Big Gerald, aka Gerald Juice. How you doing today, brother?
What's going on, my brothers? What's happening?
What's up, man? What's up? Still they got you out the you ain't in heaven no more. Now you in hell.
No. So again, this Washington State is 97 right now. Damn the sun, because ain't no AC. So here we are. I got to stay cool, baby. Got to. It's mandatory.
You got them blinds tight, boy. Ain't nobody coming in there. They were like,
no, sir. Not even a little bit.
So, Dub Deuce, man, we're doing this 50 years of hip hop. So, of course, as hip hop custodians and that we are, we're going through. So, we're gonna let you catch up. We're gonna start with we were doing best hip hop label. I said Def Jam. Who you got? And it could be the Death Rows. It could be the Uptown Records. You can go as far back as you want or as recent as you want. Who do you have as the best hip hop label?
Oh wow, hip hop for me because of my area, it has to be Def Jam. We talk about Bone Crusher. We talking about all the groups that came under that with Ludacris and all of them boys. And then the only label I know with a video game. So.
All right. So this is my problem with Def Jam. Can we count it as a label? I mean, I know it's a label, but ain't it like a step up? Like I thought we was talking about like Rockefeller, Bad Boy, G Unit.
Def Jam's on the same. They just had subsidiaries under them. But I mean,
because I can say Interscope.
You could.
I'm gonna go with Interscope if we going like label. So we need to do like big label and then.
But keep in mind, Def Jam is under Universal. So Def Jam isn't it's only really like 3 labels. Everyone is either on Universal, like BMG, and it's one more label, but then they're all subsidiaries. So it's like Interscope, and then Interscope has Aftermath, and then Aftermath has Shady, and then Shady has G Unit. They're all like,
it's Interscope then. This ain't even close. Eminem, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, The Game, Kendrick Lamar, it's Interscope. I ain't even got on the other people yet.
Interscope, like it's hard to argue when you say 50 Eminem and Dre, because I think they're probably like 3 of the 4 artists that have gone diamond. So it's hard to argue with by that logic. But the only reason I go by Def Jam, I just look at like how long like their reign was. Like Def Jam reigned from the 80s to like the 2010s, like nonstop, with always someone, there was always someone that was ahead of hip hop at Def Jam. Bad Boy had a run, but nobody makes a second album on Bad Boy. It's like you go to jail or you get dead. So it's hard for me to to give it to Bad Boy. Who was Bad Boy under? Bad Boy, I think, went under Interscope for a while too.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
they were Jimmy Iovine. But
But I
the one
think
thing about Puff though, nobody found like newer talent than him. Nobody was better at finding talent. Like just pop somebody up out of nowhere and they got a hot song. Like nobody did that better than Puff.
I said they may not have been as consistent as Puff because Jermaine Dupri was finding plenty of talent. You know, he Bow Wow, and he got 112.
Who? So
no,
our
112 was Bad Boy though.
Oh yeah, they were. Like you said, you got Bow Wow. Didn't under Def Jam. That's how they found Ludacris because he was the radio DJ down there at the time.
I mean, Jermaine, I mean, that's another episode. Jermaine be hanging around too many kids for me, man. So, I mean, crisscross.
Oh, no.
I mean, I think those stories will come out eventually. Jermaine Dupri, Mars
he got Janet Jackson, though. So, you know, I mean, I don't know if that helped him and Mike might have been passing back Rolodexes, but
hey, y'all know more about that than I do. My hands off there. I don't know.
Michael was like, send me over crisscross.
I mean, he did find the break. I mean, his beats sound bootleg, man.
Quay says Cash Money taking over for the 99 and the 2000.
No, come on, Quay. I mean, Lil Wayne, but Juvenile. They got NBA Youngboy, right?
I don't know what NBA Youngboy is on. I think he on his own, you know, just out of prison records or something. I'm not quite sure.
Well, Yo Money Bag, one of them new rappers is out now.
I mean, Drake and Lil Wayne alone are hard to argue. If you take the top two artists from all these labels you mentioned, Interscope, you probably say Eminem and 50, probably arguably the two biggest. If you go Def Jam, you're probably going to say maybe Jay-Z and LL, maybe DMX, maybe Beastie Boys. That second slot is crazy.
That's why I think Def Jam loses this argument. Like, who's the big diamond artist that's on that label?
Didn't Kanye have a diamond album? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I know the Beastie Boys went diamond for sure. I know Beastie Boys went diamond. I look at Def Jams for the consistency. I don't think they had bigger stars than Interscope, but like I said, when you talk about Hip Hop Hall of Fame, I can name 20 Hip Hop Hall of Famers on Def Jam like that. I know you can't name 20 on any of those other labels.
But they were Hall of Famers like Dominique Wilkins Hall of Fame. Like Interscope was like
the Hall of Fame.
Jordan like Hall of Fame. There's different levels, different rooms in the Hall of Fame.
There should be, but there isn't. They wear the same jacket to get the same ring, so you can't say that argument. But all right, so you got Interscope, I got Def Jam, and Gerald got Def Jam. Gerald, we're gonna let you chime in on these other two topics. So we had the worst hip hop act. I say Iggy Azalea. Alvin said Trinidad James and Designer. Who do you have as the worst hip hop act of all time?
Ooh, gosh, that is a good one. Let me I don't know if Iggy was bad other than the simple fact they tried to exploit her. If that makes sense. Like nobody told me I was gonna be a hip hop superstar. They just said, ooh, you're an attractive white woman. Do you know how to rap a little bit? Sure. Let me make you famous. And then got upset when she couldn't rap. Well, bitch, you know I couldn't rap from the beginning. Now Designer, trash. Sorry. Trash. But there's some hip hop cats that was worse. I just can't think of any off the top of my head right now. Hip hop acts. Who was the boy that got no, because he actually ended up being a hip hop legend. I was about to say who was the boy that was getting pumped by 50 Cent, but Ja Rule is actually pretty integral to hip hop.
I've said it before and I say it again. if they had a versus, I think Ja Rule would beat 50.
Oh, that's a whole other episode.
Hey, I'll go on record. I'll go on record and say if 20 versus 20, I think Ja Rule got him.
All 50 got to do is play his first album. He beat Ja Rule. He ain't even got to play no other songs.
I don't know. I think 20 versus 20 because you also could pick songs they wrote. He wrote for Mary J. He wrote for TLC. I don't know.
Those Ja Rule songs did not age well.
A lot of hip hop didn't age well.
No, you're right.
That's very true. That's very true. So you said you agreed with Alvin. You said Designer is the worst.
So here's the thing. I don't know if Designer's the worst, but when you think about when he came, like Designer got hot off of saying nothing to us. His whole album was mediocre at best. He had the one thing, but that he was coming out when mumble rap was top tier, and mumble rap did not age well either, and it was not long. Mumble rap was the young chick that you found out everybody older brother was already sleeping with, so it was sad. I never got him. That's why he gets picked on so heavily. Azalea Banks.
I've never heard of her song. I just know she's really mean to people and she
She's
sacrifices chickens. That's all I know.
Yeah.
She did what?
She sacrificed some chickens. I sacrificed some chickens for lunch, but I mean, she really be sacrificing like doing magic spells and voodoo and hoodoo and all types of things.
What was the old R&B group that Azalea Banks is Milli Vanilli.
Mm.
If you ever want to know who Azalea Banks, yeah, so I'll say Azalea Banks. Where's hip hop at Azalea Banks? It's not.
Another topic you missed before we came in there: best female rapper. I gave it to Little Kim. Al gave it to Little Kim. Who do you have as the best female rapper of all time?
MC Light. I love MC Light. Why you make that face?
I'm trying to think of 3 songs. I'm like Roughneck.
Who the hell was it? Who would have like get
Georgie Porgy? I remember she had a song Georgie Porgy.
I would pick Queen Latifah over MC Light. But go ahead, Gerald.
Why?
I want to hear your argument. Like MC Light.
I don't really have an argument, and what I'm gonna say is gonna sound horrible. When it came to female rap, I always like down south female rappers. Like if Shauna actually had a chance to actually do an album, then I wouldn't pick Shauna because she's one of the only female rappers I heard that did a song with Twista and held her own. So
Shauna, I mean,
yeah. You don't like Shauna?
No.
I just can't think of multiple. I can't think of any solo.
So for me, Shauna got marketed wrong, and so she didn't get that chance to shine. I'll be honest, I haven't heard a lot of stuff from a lot of Little Kim songs, so I disqualify myself from that because I don't really know her catalog like that.
All right, so let's go down south. So you would pick Shauna over what's the chick from 3 6 Mafia that just died?
Gangsta Boo?
Gangsta Boo?
I ain't never really heard a lot of her stuff.
How about Mia X?
And can we name 3 Mia X songs by herself? I don't. I know her when she did songs with the rest of No Limit. Like I never heard none of hers on its own.
All right, I'm about to get one right here too. That's gonna hit home over Trina.
Okay.
She's the baddest bee.
I ain't never liked Trina like that.
What about Kia? Her neck and her back.
Yes,
No, I'm just kidding.
Now, I was about to say she's from Tampa, but Kylie was never that one song, okay? And then she went on the rapping show and tried to push a song she already wrote as a freestyle, and they called her. I don't even add in this conversation.
She's hot.
I don't do a lot of Cardi B. I know people love her, but
I mean, when Nicki Minaj, like, she top three, like Nicki can go too.
Yeah.
If you want to.
So like I feel bad because I don't know a lot of Lil Kim stuff, but Lil Kim was really a lot of what we listened to down here. When you heard her, she was with Bad Boy. Like if you heard her, she was on the song with Lil C's, or she was doing something with Biggie. Um, I'm stupid. Best female rapper, Missy Elliott.
We took her out the rapper category. We said her, but then we said she's like a song maker. Her best songs was when she was singing, so we had to take her out.
She had some bangers when she was rapping though.
Yeah, I mean you can put her up there. Like I said, we disqualified her because I put her almost at a higher esteem. I would put her in those categories like a Babyface or something that's just a great song creator, Quincy Jones type, because she produced, she writes, she sings, she raps,
right.
She dances, fashion icon. Just the whole 757 makes the whole city proud. She's one of those people that we can salute for sure. So we did the best hip hop label. We did the best female artist.
My bad, artist. I mean, cause I take it back. It's Lauryn Hill. Like I just keep thinking about that first album, and her first album crushes anything that any other female rappers ever put out. I'm gonna have to go with Lauryn.
All right. And so so then that raises because if you can put Lauryn in there, you gotta put Missy in there. Because Lauryn can write, Lauryn can sing. Like Lauryn Hill is an anomaly.
I put Lauryn over Missy. Like her voice, like she could be top 5 all time and top 5 female rapper all time. And
if Lauryn would have gave us, if Lauryn gives us more than one album, she's pretty much one of the greatest female artists of all time.
If she gives
Lauryn Hill is amazing.
If she gave us another Miseducation, you're talking about greatest artists of all time. We're not talking about females. We're talking about like Miseducation is one of those albums where I was like, oh shit. Like
exactly.
This is it made a lot of other music not cut the mustard anymore. Like if you're not coming with at least this, you really shouldn't even been in the game. LaRussell recently said something that if you saw trash basketball players, people would be like, boo, get them off the court. But in hip hop, you're allowed to be trash as you want to be as long as someone listens to it. So he has his motto like get them off the court or whatever. And if you're comparing it to a sport. So but yeah, Lauryn,
good call.
It's a good call. I was like, I love that analogy. So we've done best female rapper. We did worst hip hop act. We've done best hip hop label. Next topic, most overrated hip hop act. One that people always give mad kudos and props to that you just don't feel it. Cal, I see you waiting. Who is that artist? Or it could be a group, it could be a solo act, whatever.
This is easy. Jermaine Dupri. I'm glad y'all brought him up. Overrated. What's the big Jermaine Dupri album other than Confessions? So he hopped on somebody that was already popular, made some beats for them, and everybody gives Jermaine credit. He hopped on Mariah's stuff, gave her some beats, and everybody gave him credit. But Bow Wow sold records, but he didn't sell records like that. Krs-Kross was always like Southern. It seemed like all their music was always regional. He don't have any like diamond albums or anybody that came out that had memorable albums. What So Def album everybody says a memorable album that they had to have? That's a classic album. I don't know nothing. I mean, maybe the first Bow Wow album when we playing basketball, but I mean he had Escape too, right? So
did have Escape.
But even they're like a culture group. They're not like popular.
International.
I'm going with him, Jermaine Dupri.
Jagged Edge had some fire.
See what I'm saying? But they all like little, they're like a black thing. It's like just our little thing that we know. They're not like worldwide to me.
And they may have arguably had the best remix of Sleeping in My Bed with JD and the Brat, Drew Hill. Arguably the best remix of all time.
Of all time?
Of all time.
Make that a question too, Mars. We can answer that at the end.
Okay. All right. I'll add it into the docket. How about you, We got JD, Life of 1472, disqualified from Kyle's playlist.
That horrible album.
Money Ain't a Thing on it. And a Ferrari, a Jaguar, switching 4 lanes.
Oh God, do y'all want to floss with us? Um, and the only reason I'm going to say this group is because they pretty much rode Nelly coattails in order to get to stardom. The Saint Lunatics.
Oh, Murphy. Oh, come on. All right, man.
What the hook gonna be? We don't need no hook.
Other than that song, Murphy Lee didn't do nothing else. That was again not his fault because Nelly was on his way to going to the moon. Nelly was a superstar, and the rest of them jokers was just there. Murphy always had in a song he gonna give you a hot 16. But the rest of the Saint Lunatics, come on now, be honest.
What's the other dude named? The dude that was like 50 years old by the time they got hot?
Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never heard Air Force Ones? You ain't like that?
Give me. But they're overrated. Like you think about Air Force. You think about those songs. You think about Nelly. Murphy Lee came in hot in some spots, but that was it.
I had Murphy.
That was it.
I can tell you Murphy Lee verse to save my life. If a gun was pointed to my head and you said, "Give me a Murphy Lee verse," I'd be like, "Pull the trigger, bro." I can't. What the hook gonna be? That's all I can say.
Shit.
Listen, Saint Lunatics, man. Nelly made his friends popular, and once Nelly was gone, that was it.
Alvin had that Band-Aid in 2000 and in 2002 under his eye. Oh, Denise is saying that LL Cool J is the most overrated.
Wow. Oh, she probably saying the best.
We didn't do best yet. Right. Spicy, okay. And that came up with the term for the GOAT. I don't know what he did. All he did was say skeevy delicious.
So is LL your most overrated?
Not for me. No. LL is top tier, man. Mama said knock you out. He's got hits in every single decade. I would definitely not say overrated. What a wow. Denise, do you want to come on? Because you're real spicy right now. You real.
Either that or she may be a little behind on the show.
I hope she's a little bit behind because it's got me nervous. I'm like, what audience are we drawing?
He might come on and say hip hop is trash.
Right. I can't say any of those people are overrated. For me, when we say overrated, I can only think of one artist, and I hate to say it, especially that I'm going to LA very soon. But okay, she changed it. She said she meant the best. Okay, we're gonna get the best. Okay, we appreciate you. You scared us for a minute. But for me, I hate to say it, but I think Snoop is overrated, man.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Whoa. You being disrespectful, man.
Snoop is overrated?
I'm not being disrespectful. After Doggy Style, what other memorable Snoop albums are out there?
You can't have a classic album and then say the person he made a classic album, so he's already in the elite.
But now we've got artists that got 3 or 4 classics now. So how Quayshawn
we got to go viral.
I've seen Snoop, and I love Uncle Snoop. I think he's the most famous rapper, and I think he's done more with rap music than anybody else as far as just like branding and being a social icon. But when we're just talking about rap, like after Doggy Style, what are we talking about? Snoop's Upside Your Head?
Drop It Like It's Hot, beautiful.
That was years later when he hooked up with Pharrell, and then he had a bunch of cold things. If he wasn't working with Drake, like none of those albums with Master P were worth talking about much.
I thought when he and down for my when he in that song was he murdered?
Yeah, but that wasn't his song. He had a verse.
Oh, come on. Bars, please, we're gonna give you a chance to redo this take, but it can't be Snoop Dogg.
I think
it can be Tupac.
I can't say Tupac. I got more memorable Tupac verses than I got a Snoop.
I don't have any Tupac verses, except for Brenda Got a Baby.
That's a random one to pick of all the songs you could have picked.
What about? I was about to say, what about the song he did with Dre when he got out of jail?
American
California.
Oh yeah, California. Yeah. No, I mean that whole before. I loved Strictly for My Niggas because I was Tupac. I like Tupac when he was in Digital Underground. I like Tupacalypse now. I like Strictly for My Niggas. I love all his pre-Death Row stuff, and then All Eyes on Me was just the the coup de grace. So I can't say Tupac, but I think Snoop really he's got a couple of memorable verses, but after that first album, I think he's overrated.
Whoa!
Wait a minute. This is why he's not on the show. He just say Drake is overrated?
Thank you, Quay. He made my bad take sound better now.
Wait, put that what's that stuff Quay be drinking? Put that down to come up here and explain why Drake is overrated. And I don't even
Drake? Yeah, I'm about to say, I mean, he ain't overrated.
I honestly think at this point Drake is underrated.
Well, we're gonna get to that too.
I mean, because this run is something that arguably this run without a classic album. I don't think Drake's got a classic album on him. But
so yeah, I don't want to throw a monkey wrench in nothing. However, if y'all give me the opportunity, I want to just do a small Black Air Force Energy segment, and it's about something in hip hop. It was about something that was said by a rap legend down south, and I feel like we the three people that need to talk about it.
Well,
as soon as we get a chance.
We need an intermission. Let's break it up a little. What you got?
All right.
Okay, so if we talk about Black Air Force One industry, let's talk about Bootsy Badass real quick. Bootsy was on a podcast, and Bootsy said, and I quote, that nobody, alive or dead, can match R. Kelly in a verse. He even went as far as saying the late great Michael Jackson could not go song for song performance with R. Kelly in the verse. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I love Bootsy. Just to set it off, I love Bootsy. I think Bootsy get a little too high. I think he say too much. Now, when we talk about R. Kelly, the artist, he can write. He got some dope songs. But we are talking about, if we're talking about performances, one of the greatest performers to ever walk the planet, and Michael Joseph Jackson. And you're going to sit here and tell us that Michael Jackson can't go song for song with R. Kelly? Samples alone for Michael Jackson can stand up song for song with R. Kelly. The people that have sampled Michael Jackson songs, if you just do those alone, because in verses you can bring guests out, the guest list for Michael Jackson will supersede anything R. Kelly's ever done. But I'm bringing it to my bros and saying, what do y'all think about the take that Bootsy Badass had to say? Now, I can see what he was saying about R. Kelly with anybody else, but when he brought Michael Jackson into the fold, I had to put up stop. Please, somebody, anybody.
You want this, Marv?
Man, I'm so offended. Y'all know how I feel about Michael Jackson. I've got not one, but two authentic Michael Jackson costumes in my closet right now with the glove, the glitter socks, the whole kit and caboodle, including the wig. I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up thinking I was Michael Jackson, dancing, moonwalking, and socks, putting socks on my hand. To me, greatest of all time, bar none. Boosie just sometimes I think he just say stuff to say stuff, and then he apologized the next day. He remind me of Kyle. He'll just say something, and then be like, "You know what, man? I was wrong. I was. I don't know where that thought came from out of my head, and I agree with you saying 100%. But you know, I don't know what Boosie's obsession. Maybe he doesn't like R. Kelly's legacy being erased. And I can understand R. Kelly did have some fire. And there's a lot, if you just talking about the artistry and take away the personal life, there's a lot that R. Kelly can beat by all means. He's going to have a very, very nice record. But he ain't beating MJ. He's not beating MJ. As soon as you hear SSWWB, I mean, like Gerald said, the samples alone, Hard Knock Life. No, that's actually Orphan Annie, but there's other songs that have sampled the Jackson 5, and Michael. I mean, yeah, no, he's not beating Michael. No one's beating Michael. Period. When you're talking Michael, you're talking about the Big Four. You're talking about the Elvises, the Beatles, those type of groups. When you're talking about Michael Jackson, it's only like 4 of them that can even go in that atmosphere. But R. Kelly definitely have a healthy record. He's definitely beating some people, but it ain't MJ. He's not the one.
Oh,
I see your face. Please, come on, Cal.
Not only is R. Kelly beating MJ, he's dusting MJ off. This is not even close. He's dusting off. The only reason MJ even wins this is because he's more popular. But if R. Kelly had the same popularity that MJ had, it's not even close. R. Kelly, they ain't got to do nothing but drop the beat and people go off. When it seems like she's ready, come on, and people go off. Somebody braid my hair. R. Kelly got so many classic
not somebody braid my hair. You're disqualified. just
he made that a song. Who else could do that?
Yeah. Okay. R. Kelly was a great writer, and when it comes to R&B, now if he would have said on a versus any other R&B person, great. I hear what you're saying. I don't see many, but Michael Jackson, as far as a performance on stage versus R. Kelly, we're talking about not just songs but performing as well. Think about it this way. Y'all remember the whole Mario Omarion fiasco, right? So Omarion with B2K, correct me if I'm wrong, he got one of the best catalogs out there as far as against Mario. You don't know too many Mario songs that's going to stand up with Omarion and B2K. But when it came to the performance, Mario wiped Omarion.
But why did Mario wipe him?
Because Omarion was not ready for that. He was up there.
What was the main reason that Mario mocked the Marion, though? What was the main thing? What did it come down to?
The better performance.
He could sing. He actually could sing.
Michael Jackson ain't known for singing. Like, he just so good at this. I never heard a song where they said Michael Jackson killed it.
What? Okay, I cannot.
Same thing with Beyonce. They're just good performers, but they're not like singers. I know somebody that will. I know somebody that wipe R. Kelly and Michael Jackson, though.
Michael can sing. What are you talking about, bro? He's got like Weeknd is famous because he sounds like Michael Jackson.
I hate him too. I don't think he can sing. I think he sang a little better than Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson cannot sing. I never heard a song where I'm like, he killed it. He just made good songs.
Human Nature, bro?
No.
You Are Not Alone?
No, what? I can give you. I Believe I Can Fly. I Believe I Can Fly would dust You Are Not Alone off.
Well, technically, R. Kelly wrote You Are Not Alone, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm glad I brought this today. I was not expecting this. But if we talk about performance, like even if we talk about performance, like you said, the Weeknd, the crowd will go crazy to see Michael Jackson and the Weeknd on stage together. There's a lot more artists that's going to go on the stage with Michael and perform with Michael before they do with R. Kelly. And it might be because of popularity, but it may be because of song choices.
That's cool. I'm pretty, and a lot of them artists, R. Kelly wrote their songs too. But I know somebody. I know somebody that'll beat R. Kelly and Michael Jackson though.
In a versus?
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey, one of Mariah Carey's biggest songs was a remake of Michael Jackson's song. So you're right.
Yeah, she'll be.
No, she'll be on stage performing with Michael Jackson. When they sing "I'll Be There," she's gonna be right there. That's one of the biggest songs.
I'm not taking away from Michael, but if we said most overrated artists of all time, Michael Jackson.
Oh wow!
Please don't do that. You're trying to get us canceled, and I don't understand the logic behind it. We're trying to be safe.
I think Michael Jackson would get us canceled right there.
The views of Cal Jones are not representative of the views of Mars Media, Black Air Force
Did
Synergy.
Did you say Michael Jackson is overrated?
Yeah.
No.
I think he's good. I think Stevie Wonder is better than Michael Jackson.
And you could argue that, like, but how many Stevie Wonders are there? Like when you're talking about the Princes and the Stevie Wonders and people of that cloth, it's really just your personal taste at that point. So yeah, you can argue that, but these are icons. But R. Kelly, he lost me when he made Sex Planet.
Dude made stuff in the name of love. Like even the versatility, he could go from a rapper.
He is a great.
Step in the
name no one's knocking his greatness. Don't get me wrong. R. Kelly may be the greatest R&B artist ever. I can't argue that. But we talk about performance on a stage. Man, Michael gonna moonwalk the shit out of R. Kelly.
In the club right now, you hopping on the dance floor. I can't.
Don't stop till you get enough.
No, I'm not putting Mars in it because he's gonna imitate him. I see Mars at the club with Michael Jackson, so Mars can't be in this. There's no, can't stop till you get enough. I give you that.
Do you remember the time?
What?
Till dawn, till 3. What? Go. That's you getting up. I'm doing up. Do ya?
Listen.
Remember the time.
Listen, Thriller come on every year. It's not a year you ain't heard Thriller, especially around Halloween. That's one of the greatest songs ever made.
Nobody's dancing to Thriller, man. They may do like the routine, but nobody's like hopping on the dance floor. Nobody's playing Thriller in the club.
Ain't nobody playing R. Kelly right now in the club.
I bet you, I see people still go let them play stuff in the name of love. The whole dance floor.
I mean,
but which club gonna do it?
Right.
Ain't no club doing it.
Seems like she ready. Everybody gonna be in the dance floor.
In the club? What club they playing slow songs like that?
Backseat by G.
That's a 1998 prom you talk about. That's not.
See, he trying to go. Listen, don't get me wrong. Trapped in the Closet is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
I ain't even got it.
I love Trapped in the Closet. Oh, that's what I'm saying. So don't get me wrong. Kels is in my playlist. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, performing on the stage against Michael Jackson, he getting weight. It's not gonna go well.
Do Michael even have
Michael Jackson? Yes, Michael Jackson was performing for 50 years.
You think he got more hits now? This is gonna be a separate episode doing a Michael versus R. Kelly, our own versus.
I will bring my playlist. You get your partner. Me and Gerald will take MJ. He'll pick 10. I'll pick 10. You get you a partner. You pick 10 R. Kelly, and they pick 10, and we'll go round for round. I don't care if I get demonetized for the episode. We will play them bitches round for round and have the people vote a live versus.
All right.
We go.
I got one Michael Jackson song that's gonna shut it all down. Michael Jackson got one of the most beloved. You think about it. If that was ever the case, and we know it's not the case because he passed away. But if Michael and R. Kelly can do a versus, do you know that everywhere on the planet is gonna watch versus? Yeah. Not because of R. Kelly, but because of Michael Jackson. That man is universally loved. Mama say, mama sa, mamakusa, and you shut the whole thing down. They'll never quit for another R. Kelly. When he started doing it, yeah. And don't let him pull Janet to do Scream. It's over.
Now let me play Bob.
The song where he
That was for
says
our culture.
that
Hey,
song
bro.
where he says little cute Aaliyah's got
All
it.
right, since I do this, because I can pull some Michael stuff, let's just keep it up. Let's
Michael
keep it
ain't
up.
never
Hey, we talk
Michael,
about performances now. We're going down the rabbit hole. we didn't want to, we got
only
to keep
one
this
person
Black
got
Air Force
found
One
guilty.
energy.
Now we taking personal shots and kills.
Only
Listen,
one person
so
got
hey,
found guilty.
Black Air Force energy. We keeping it on that. Now. What y'all talking about is something totally different.
I like that though.
That's some real black. So we'll revisit that. We're gonna do a live R. Kelly versus Michael Jackson versus me and Team Gerald versus Cal Jones and a partner of his choice.
Pretty sure a short man would be with me.
Hey, well, who knows? He's supposed to be on this episode.
I'm gonna be 10 songs short.
You're gonna lose by default. So you be like, shit, that's all I'm prepared for.
Internet all messed up, phone don't stream and play music.
I can see it now. It's the shortest giant you ever seen, and the next song is
I'm your angel with him and Celine Dion. I'm like, oh.
No, he barking short man when he come on the
I didn't
he was
hear
barking
that
short
song. We were like, no, we didn't hear anything. I see y'all. Anyway, the next
man. Something wrong with y'all internet.
yeah, that's a hit, man. What's wrong with y'all internet? all right. We're almost done at the finishing point. So
God.
we've discussed. Thank you for that Black Air Force energy. We give a round of applause for that. Thank you for that segment.
That.
But Boosie, you got to stop smoking so much, brother, because you
Tripping, man.
So you can't do 50-year hip hop without the biggest debate that you hear in every barbershop. Every time they talk about hip hop, it's one question, and I saved it for the last question for this episode. Top 5, dead or alive.
Ooh, okay. Got that. I'm with it.
So we're gonna start instead of all of us doing just our 5. We're gonna do your 5, my 5, your 4, your 4, your 4. That way, we get to see the variety. So I will start it off. I'll start this off. So number 5 for me on my list of greatest rappers of all time. I start number 5. He would be higher if he had more solo work. And number 5 for me is none other than Andre 3000. 3 stacks, Andre Benjamin. Ooh. Number 5 on my list. Who you got, Al?
Number 5 on my list. It's gonna shock a lot of people, but I guess it's my personal list. T.I.
Ooh, it tell us more.
Urban legend.
That he made your top 5.
You just got classic verses, man. Like Urban Legend, Swagger Like Us. Although it's something about T.I. that I like you don't gotta worry about having a white verse when he come on the song.
Right.
So that's really my reason.
I mean, that's fair enough. Who you got, Big Gerald?
Actually, your number 5 and my number 5 is the same, Andre 3000. And the reason why, like I said, growing up in the South, Outkast was one of the best groups that you ever heard as far as a rap group. But Andre 3000 is a lyricist that just so happened to be in a rap group. Man, you could put Andre on a rap song right now, and it's gonna go. He was meticulous when it came to his verses. He stood out, with his appeal. But man, his delivery. There's not a lot of rappers that can deliver like Andre can, because his cadence can change up in the middle of a song and still be on par. So Andre 3000 is number 5.
You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. So number 4 on my list, I'm probably going to say he's the most influential rapper of all time. But for me, it's nothing but Lil Wayne. Mixtape Weezy was a monster. You don't get Drake. You don't get Nicki. You don't get any of these rappers with tattoos on their face, good or bad. Lil Wayne to me is number 4. I mean, the Carter series 1 through 3. I can't speak on Carter 4 or 5, but 1 through 3 was amazing. His mixtape, his features, iconic, man. I think the only thing that slowed him down was him slowing down. But I've still heard verses when he's really motivated that can blow anything away. So for me, number 4 is Lil Wayne.
This is a hard one. Biggie. He just didn't have enough work, but his verses is still killing anybody out right now. Like, that was the only person that was on the song, but everybody's verse wasn't even close in terms of who had the best verse on the song. The second album was the classic album. First one was a kind of a classic album, but it's Biggie, man. Like, every time he was on a song, he brought it. So he forwarded me. Would be one if he had another album.
The fact that he came on a Bone song when Bone was at the peak of their powers and destroyed Bone. He's definitely in my top 5. You'll see where, but yeah, just hard to argue. How about you? Who's your number 4, Big Gerald?
Number 4 for me, as far as, like I said, I'm younger than y'all, but for me, when this dude came out, it was hard to deny that he was going to set the world on fire. And Get Rich or Die Trying is still one of like my top 5 albums. I'm gonna go with 50.
Yeah, going straight to the bank with this 50 Cent. It's hard to argue, man. 50 Cent, he stood the test of time, right? They just said he sold 1 million tickets for a 20-year-old album. It's hard. It's hard to argue, man. And he's still he had a feature on Nas's new album, which was really, really good. He's just so talented and so smart. So I mean, I can't be mad at that on anybody's list. Shout out to Chad because he loves some 50 Cent. But I can't argue with that. So number 3 for me, it's tough because he's more than just a rapper. He's kind of like Walt Disney of our generation. But our album, I love Biggie, I love Nas, I love Jay, but I couldn't relate to any of those things that they were talking about. It just sound good. I didn't have the money. I didn't sell the drugs. I wasn't violent. But this artist, when he came out, I was like, oh shit, he worked at the Gap too?
Yes, I thought he was saying.
And so for me, number 3 on my list,
Kanye. He was about to be my 5 too.
Yay. College Dropout, man. What can I say? Yes. From the skits to the production to the lyricists to putting people on tracks that you don't think of. Then you go to Late Registration, which arguably is better sonically than College Dropout and so different. He took the guy who scored a Jim Carrey movie to help him produce Late Registration, crap music, the skits. Oh man, I loved it. And then you get into Graduation, which is arguably a top 5 hip hop album on anybody's list. I don't think there was any bad songs. And then you get into Twisted Dark. Like every time
that's the most underrated album
came out, thank you. Yeah. He changed the music. Like you don't get any of the Travis Scott or the sonically. And I love 808s and Heartbreak. Like I've seen so many people remake that album acoustically, and it just sounds different. And his latest work, not so much. But I mean, I'm counting 4 classics, and it's not too many artists that can boast 4 classics. So for me, number 3, Ye, Yeezy, Kanye, whatever you want to call him. But for me, number 3 is Kanye West.
Number 3, Jay-Z. What, 7 or 8 straight summers of number 1 albums? Well, in rap anyway. I don't think his only number 1 song was, I guess, New York. But the Blueprint like changed the game. He dropped that on September 11th, and he still sold like 500,000 or 600,000 albums. Always consistent. Although, man, I mean, what else could I say? Billionaire with Beyonce on a team. He made it from nothing to something, and he's still making it. You can still drop Jay-Z on the song right now. He'll kill everybody that's on the song. So number 3, Jay-Z.
Hard to argue. What you got, Gerald?
My number 3 is the same as yours, Mars. I'm going with Kanye. Well, I'm going with Kanye for a different reason. Not only was Kanye great at rapping, Like Kanye, you could put just like Jay-Z, you could put Kanye, young Kanye on any of your songs and you got a hit. Um, like I said, he wasn't afraid to push the envelope. Uh, even if he didn't like you, he gonna put out a song with you and it's gonna work. I mean, y'all think about it. Lamborghini Mercy is one of the hardest songs I've heard on Kanye. And man, he was on that. Listen, Two Chainz is a great rapper, but even Two Chainz went hard on the Kanye West song. And that's what he do. And then Kanye, even with the later albums he did, like the gospel album, just some of the music that he put into it, the Beautiful Morning with the gospel group. Y'all know I love music altogether. I thought it was well done, and he was a perfectionist, even in the midst of his mental health. When they performed in Georgia, like they were on par. Like I actually got to watch them perform, so like that was great to see. They did the rendition of Week, um, the Beautiful Morning rendition. It was great. They did a stellar job. So even in the midst of that, Kanye still went as not only a great rapper but a great performer as well.
Hey, you can't argue with that. So this one for my number two, and I know I'm get a lot of slack, but it's our show, so I make the rules. We do whatever the hell we want. So my number two, it's a tie. It's between Nas and Biggie, and I will give the reasoning why. Alvin said it, and the man's been dead longer than he was alive. He died in 1997. He was 24 years old when he died. He had two albums that he completed while he was alive, and then Puff took a bunch of his answering machine messages and made some bullshit albums after that. But Biggie, lyrically, I've never heard anyone better before, and I've never heard anyone lyrically better after. I've never heard anyone kill Biggie on the track. I've heard Jay get killed on the track. I've heard Nas get killed on the track. J. Cole has killed a lot of people on the track. I've never, ever heard Biggie get murdered on the track, ever. He's normally the highlight from his voice to his cadence to his storytelling. And the fact that you're like, oh shit, he was only 24 years old when he died. That means some of this stuff that he was putting out came out when he was 18, 19 years old. And it's still better than anyone that I've heard before. And then Nas, the reason that he made it is because of this recent resurgence. I've never seen someone have three primes. Like he was a beast in 94, fell off in like 96, came back in like 2000 something after Stillmatic, fell off again, and then came back again with Hit Boy and dropped like 4 or 5 classics. So for me, if it wasn't for that lull in the middle, Nas might be my number one. And if it wasn't for Biggie passing away too soon, he might be my number one. But for that reason, I give them my tied at two, Nas and Biggie.
Ooh, that's tough. Two is Nas for me. I think it was something about somebody that wasn't hood that sat back and wrote stories about everything that they saw. I mean, although like Nas songs like they touch me, like I can listen to other rappers, but it's something about Nas that like he'll make you want to go out and make money. He'll make you want to go out and be a good father if you got kids. Like he was the only person that can rap without having to talk about what Kanye too and J. Cole, guns or drugs or whatever. He'll talk around it, but it wasn't what he was about. And I think a lot of people still haven't mastered that. And to see how he's grown as a person and he's still elevating people around him. He's embracing the young rappers and he's doing songs with them. He's he's giving them a new audience while also reintroducing himself to a new audience. To do what he's doing with Hit Boy, I think Hit Boy has popped up in the top like 3 or 4 top producers of all time now, which we need to answer that question too before the show is over. But was it 4 classic albums now? I think the dude on steroids. Like they didn't even have him tested because who gets better with age like this? It's like he's still hungry. And I think he's showing that you don't have to age yourself out in hip hop. Like you can do like these other genres like rock or whatever and take it on until you know what I'm saying you die. Like hip hop is the only like thing that they age you out. You too old to do this now. And Nas is proving that you can keep going as long as you want. As long as you got a lower fan base. And his fan base is behind him, so he gonna keep rocking out.
You got some valid points. Everybody said Melly Mel. I don't know if you heard that diss he did to Eminem.
Yeah, some people need to stop.
I was like, who let this man out the old folks' home? He was like, ha ha ha, Eminem, ha ha ha.
He apologized though, right?
He should, yeah, he did. He was like, that was not up to snuff. It was so bad. You know, it's bad when someone write a diss and then apologize afterwards. Like, you know what? I was wrong.
Shame on my family.
The apology was better than the diss.
That diss was bad. He said something at the end, like, ugh. I was like, did he just hit him with the. I digress. Go ahead, Gerald. What's your number 2?
So I'm glad you put in ties, and I'm gonna go on a disclaimer and say, I've only heard like 2 or 3 Nas songs. I've not heard a lot of Nas, but I'm gonna go back and listen to his stuff because y'all spoke on it. Because I don't know him enough to even put him in a category for me, but I'm gonna rectify that. But for me, if we talk about number 2, I got a tie, and it's with Biggie, but my tie with him is Busta Rhymes. So Busta Rhymes for me, you know, he has classic albums. Put your hands where my eyes can see. I enjoy Busta Rhymes' music. He's a switch hitter. He can give you a great low ride key verse, and then he can spit fast. And I like fast spitters. I think that to me, like I said, he was deserving of the Icon Award. He's a great person. As far as lyrically, he's also a dope rapper. So I got Biggie and Busta as my number 2.
You know we talk about number 2 and not 20, right?
I'm gonna need you to stop because I didn't say nothing about your list. I'm gonna need you to. Yes.
What about Biggie?
So Biggie for me was influential because by the time Biggie was coming out, I was in that impressionable age, 8, 9, where his music I didn't understand it until I got older. And so when you listen to Biggie's lyrics now as an adult, it's influential to you. You know, you go back and listen to his first. I'm like, damn, you wouldn't expect that he only had those few albums before he passed away. Like I said, living down south, the East Coast West Coast thing, it wasn't really a big deal for us down south. And so for me, it was always I just enjoyed both their music. I didn't even know about the beef. But man, Biggie, like I said, Biggie's like Andre. His delivery is timeless. Like you could put old school Biggie verse on a new song right now, and it's still gonna slap. So I enjoy Biggie's music. I wish that we'd have had more of it.
Hopefully, with AI music, we get some new Biggie coming out soon. The technology is getting better. All right, and for me, number 1, let me tell you, this man got me through some good times at Norfolk State when they used to think I was him for some odd reason. I'm far better looking, by the way. But this guy, Alvin, knows. We went through high school with it. But, I mean, Alvin said it on his list. 8 summers. He held us down. Back to back to back to back to back. I've never seen every year. He had some missteps. Blueprint 2, I'm talking about you. But
Blueprint 2 was hard, but maybe that Dynasty album. But go ahead.
Rock La Familia, I'm talking to you. But for the most part, just crazy. And we saw last year when he dropped like a 5-minute verse on God's Did. We were like, holy crap, he still has it when he wants to. First hip hop billionaire, just amazing artist. But for me, number 1 all time, Jigga Jay-Z, Jehovah, Hove to God. I mean, classic. Reasonable Doubt, arguably, a lot of people say that's his best album. Not my favorite Jay-Z album. For me, it was a Black Album. Black Album was crazy. Only one mistake on that entire album. He's got three classics to me. Blueprint. What was the one with Hard Knock Life? Life of Time.
Oh yeah, the Life and Times of Sean Carter, Volume 1.
Life of Times, Volume 1. And then I think Reasonable Doubt is a classic too. And his second album, Volume 2, the one with Sunshine on it, if it wasn't for Sunshine and that song where like I know what girls like,
Puffy messed that album up.
if Puff really, but when you look at like Cough Up a Lung When I'm From Marcy, son, like you listen to those cuts, and if you take Puffy away, that's a classic album too. So for me, Jay-Z #1. He's the GOAT of all goats. I gotta say Jay-Z. So that's my #1.
This was hard, man. Because Nas hold a special place in my heart. Jay-Z was the only person that I saw that can go toe-to-toe with Biggie on Brooklyn's Finals. Like, till this day, I still can't figure out who had the best verse. I think Biggie got by a little bit, but...
Just because that line, if Faye had twins, I think she had 2 pops. Get it?
That's what got Biggie over. But Jay-Z lost when Eminem got him at... TJ said...
Renegade.
It's Brooklyn, it's New York, so I expect that. I'm gonna go with Lil Wayne. I had Jay-Z, but Eminem killed Lil Wayne, and he killed Jay-Z in that Renegade song. So Jay fell off the list. I don't know anybody beat Lil Wayne in the verse. Like that run that he had with those mixtapes, I still listen to him now, and I'm like, how did I miss that? And I gotta rewind it back. Because whatever he was talking about, I didn't know what it was until I learned about it now. I'm like, oh, that's what he was talking about. I never knew an album that was more anticipated than the Carter 3, where it was so anticipated he was dropping fake Carter 3s. It's the Carter 3, but this the Carter 3. The Carter 2 was a classic album. He killed Eminem on 2 songs. He did Mr. Carter song with Jay-Z. It was about even. I think he beat Jay-Z in that. Lil Wayne came in last on every song. Everybody got their little verses over with. It was all right. Well, it's time for Wayne, and he always came through. I don't know anybody would have run like it. Jay-Z was good, but lyrically, he wasn't saying what Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne had so many quotables. It's not funny, man. So it's Lil Wayne, and he gave us Drake, and he gave us Nicki Minaj. It's Wayne, man.
Yeah, he might lose some points for giving us Nicki Minaj. But TJ said, shout out to Nicki Minaj and all the barbs. I don't want the barbs attacking me. I know they still go hard. But you're right, man, with the Lil Wayne. He almost got my #1, but I had to stick with, my soul. Who you got as your #1, Big Gerald?
I don't even know why we talking about it. Cal just said it. When you hear that lighter flick on your song, it's going down. Lil Wayne is the greatest of all time. Listen, so like I said, I'm younger than y'all. So when The Block Is Hot came out, that one of the first CDs I ever got. And man, Lil Wayne killed it on his very first single. I've listened to Lil Wayne music ever since. I think Loud Pipes is one of the most underrated songs on the album, and I know Wayne's whole verse by heart. Whenever you put Lil Wayne on anything, a mixtape, a remix, is going sell. The Carter 2 was a classic album. But then every mixtape he gave us was gold until he gave us the Carter 3. Man, listen, I don't know too many Lil Wayne flops you can name. Can you name a Lil Wayne flop? Even his rock album was decent.
What? All right.
Beyonce spit better boy than Lil Wayne.
Still drunk on his birthday.
I'm about to say he on something real bad. Must have been at the swingers party. Anyway, it's Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is the greatest rapper of all time. I mean, to us, but man, when you think about it, the longevity and the simple fact right now that, it seems like he's really not doing too many more rap songs right now. But if Wayne come out with an album right now, it'll sell like that.
Wayne mixtapes was so good, right? When he was taking other people's songs, I would forget what the original song was. And then when the original song came on, I'll be mad. I'm like, oh, that's not the Lil Wayne version. That's the person that actually sang the song. That's how good he was.
No, I mean, I can't argue, especially when you look at the influence. I can't see anyone that's influenced hip hop more than Lil Wayne at this point, especially being that he's only 40 now, just hitting 40. I wish he cut off those 2 dreads, but it's hard to argue that. So that, I mean, this was an insightful list. I like what I heard from everybody, but we couldn't let you guys go without giving a bonus. So, honorable mention. There's one rapper in the top 5 that didn't make it. Who is that artist? And for me, you know who it is. It's my guy Kendrick. I know Alvin hates this, but my honorable mention, he hates Kendrick Lamar with a passion. I think he said Meek Mill is better, but for me, man, it's Kendrick. Good Kid, Mad City, perfect album. Pimp a Butterfly, crazy. I wasn't a big fan of his of his last album that everybody went crazy on. Wasn't a huge fan of that. But I think Kendrick is one of those killers that you just can't underestimate.
You gotta put your picture. You got skinny jeans on you.
I'm about to say, don't he got skinny jeans on in that picture?
Yeah, skinny jeans on when we met him.
And no shirt.
Yes. What is TJ talking about?
What is wrong with TJ, man? I think I'm gonna switch up because I said Kanye, but I'm gonna put Kanye top with T.I. for 5. I'm gonna go with J. Cole.
Okay.
Reminds me of Nas. Don't have the amount of classic albums, but same thing. He always come through. I mean, he kind of remind me of Kendrick. I mean, better beats. Music don't put me to sleep. Better lyrics, but other than that, they pretty much the same.
Oh wow, man! Did y'all hear them shots he took? Jesus Christ!
It's J. Cole though.
That's fair though. And who you got as your honorable mention, Big Gerald?
That's a good question. Like I said, the Jermaine Cole one was a good one. Everybody liked J. Cole. I'm gonna go a different direction because, like I said, I like rappers who spit fast. I'm gonna go with Twister. You keep looking at that, Cal. I like the lyricists that rap fast. I can't help it that they didn't get the. So think about it. I like it. That's just my honorable mention. I love Twister. I can't help it.
I don't know 4 Twister songs, man.
Wasn't he on that? She wants some Marvin Gaye, Luther
Yes.
Vandross.
Yes, he was on Kanye's song. Yes. I like
You got Twister in your top 6. Like you could have picked Eminem. Like Eminem.
No, I thought you were saying like honorable mention as far as rappers we like. I didn't know you was. Oh, okay, so that's different. TJ throwing me off. No, I just like Twitter. I like fast rappers. But if we're talking about like top tier that could have been in the top 5, then yes, Eminem would definitely be one of those because he came out at a time, like I said, early 2000, and he hooked up with Dre. He got an undeniable catalog, and without Eminem, technically ain't no 50 Cent.
Yeah, the only thing about Eminem that, like, I've heard some verses from Eminem that Dead Wrong, one with Biggie, Renegade. When he raps like that, it's hard to say there's anyone better. But my problem was all the poppy songs that he did, and I understand it's to get radio play. And I'm not too much of a fan where he was like, I'm a bury my mom and tie my girlfriend up and sleep with my grandma. Like some of the stuff he said just for shock value, that wasn't my thing. But when he kept it just hip hop, he was one of the best out there. his later stuff, like after he got off the drugs, not so much. Like maybe he needed the drugs and stuff. Sometimes he would be making a metaphor, just be making a metaphor, and I'm like, if I'm gonna do that, I might as well listen to Cannabis. So that's the only reason why I don't put Eminem in my top 6, but he's up there. He's in my top 15 for sure. Just not in my top 10. But he's dope. I respect what he does. I think as far as ability, the actual technical ability of rapping, like rhyming words, I think he's the best. But it's just far as making songs that I want to listen to, that's the problem with me with Eminem.
Well, he don't have the classic album, and also he didn't evolve. Like he kept, even now, he kept trying to use that same old rapping style, and he tried to use it now, and it's like it's a whole different generation, man. You gotta like Nas evolved, Lil Wayne, everybody else did it. Eminem kept trying to, you know, what I'm saying, do the same thing. What the hell is Doggy Fresh?
You mean Dougie?
Was he trying to say Dougie? Man, happy belated birthday, bro. You can go your ass to bed.
He's still sipping. Doggy Fresh. Is that one of Snoop's groups? Is that like
sound like
Was he trying to
some dog dog shampoo or some shit?
You know Snoop and everything. He probably got some breath mints. Yeah, get Doggy Fresh. Make your breath smell right.
Can we get one more bonus thing, man? Just to can we get a best producer?
Let's wrap it up. We'll start with you, and then I'll end because I didn't have a second bonus prepared. But go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No. You can start it off with your bonus, and we'll go to Gerald and now end it.
Oh, so my best producer of all time is Dr. Dre. I ain't even gotta explain it.
Okay, so bonus producer. All right. So my favorite, Gerald, you go with your favorite hip hop producer.
favorite hip hop producer? I'm gonna make Cal pissed for the rest, and I'm gonna go Jermaine Dupri. You can't deny him. I know.
You don't like because I'm the migga the mad daddy Cal. You don't think
You okay? Hey, he gonna rip his hairline off.
Jermaine, Dre,
JD, y'all.
can you explain your answer? I know Boz need to explain it, but
Think about it. It's Jermaine Dupri. Some of the hottest albums came out because of JD. In that span, man, JD had cuts.
What were these albums?
Huh?
What were these albums that came out of all this? What were these albums? What's the name of them?
I don't know. You asked me who my favorite producer is.
He ain't got no albums.
And I told you I was gonna say somebody to piss you off.
he told you life of 1472 changed his life.
Did I not start off by saying I'm gonna say this person just to piss Cal off?
You guys are a short man now. Only song you had was "Walking to Atlanta."
So I mean, when you say hip hop producers, there's a ton out there. I mean, technically, Puff is a producer. You got your Swizz Beats, you got your Kanye, you got your DJ Premiers, you got your Jay Dillas, you got your RZA.
Would Timberland be? What about Timberland?
Timberland is definitely a hip hop producer. I mean, you have a ton. DJ Quick. If you're going to the West Coast, if you're talking about modern producer, I got Tope. Is super dope. Hit Boy, you got to put him in the conversation.
Scott Storch had a run.
Scott Storch had a run. DJ Mustard had a run. I mean, Young Metro, don't trust you, you're gonna shoot you. But for me, it's just hip hop that I just really hit my soul. Almost every favorite hip hop song I had was produced by DJ Premier. Primo, to me, is like authentic hip hop. Like he's not really doing much. I see Alvin's mad again. He's not really doing so much now. He's doing a lot of scoring because there's a lot of money in that. But DJ Premier had Like you knew a Primo track when you heard it. So for me, I like boom bap. That's how I learned to rap. When I started rapping was from boom bap. So DJ Premier, what he did with Gangstar, that's my guy. DJ Premier is my favorite producer. You give me a DJ Premier beat right now, I'll give you a 5-minute freestyle that will just shut the place down. So I love DJ Premier. That's for me. But Dr. Dre is my close second, man. He don't work enough. Dr. Dre do an album every 10 years, 15 years.
This remind me of when BJ said LaMarcus Aldridge was his favorite player. Ladies and gentlemen, I have known Mars for about 25 years. I've never heard him say DJ Premier in my life. I never heard him recite a DJ Premier song, say that this DJ Premier song is hot. Say, Kyle, listen to this DJ Premier song. He gets me on camera on an important subject. He said DJ Premier. Man, I'm good.
It's okay, bro. It's okay.
Primo was that guy. I don't know what y'all talking about. Disrespect to DJ Premier, but DJ Premier is that guy. I know Al's ready to put me on Cal's court.
Definitely. We gotta pull the old hands up. Hey John, just need you back for one episode, man. Just need some proof. You ain't even gotta stay the whole episode.
He'd probably be asleep or harassing some young lady on the internet. Who knows? But that's
it's Petty Monday. All right.
Liar. Anyway, that's been it for your boys. I hope you guys enjoy. We gave y'all an hour and 30 minutes of pure hilarity, pure hip hop, 50 years of hip hop. Hopefully it'll be around another 50 years. We haven't had the #1 hip hop album this year, so I don't know. It might be on its way out.
We won't be giving y'all the next 50 years.
Nah, y'all gonna have to get down in the Den version too. Our grandchildren will take over the show because I'm not listening to Little Yachty no matter what. It ain't nothing you can do. We're gonna be doing top 50 jazz songs next episode. That's Thelonious Monk, I tell you. Shout out to Tony Bennett. Big band is what we're listening to. We're old. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Big Gerald, please let the people know where they can find you, and then we'll go down the line.
You know it. It's your boy Big Jared. Catch me on Facebook at Gerald Williams. Instagram, LeroyJ1117. Of course, you know I am the Pharaoh Christian Mingle, and it's always going up, as you well know. And I'm always gonna be with the boys on the Down in the Den After Dark. I was glad I seen the link so I could hop on here. I've been at work, but it don't matter. They got to pay me anyway. So.
Appreciate you. At least you came on, unlike some other people that say they were. But we'll talk to them on camera.
What man?
We're talking about. He's still probably trying to log in with that internet. He was probably the first one here. He's still trying to get his Wi-Fi passcode.
You know he get his lie together.
Like, man, I got caught on fire, man. It was crazy. But shout out to Short Man. Check him out at 8300 on Instagram. I had this made for him, but he wasn't here today. Cal, please let people know where they can find you.
Instagram, CalJoe757. TikTok, the same thing. YouTube, keeping up with the Cal Joneses, and Cal Jones 813. Down in the Den. This After Dark, politics as usual, which we need to shoot another episode ASAP. There's a lot going on. Blow the Whistle Sports. Like I said, we everywhere.
Everywhere, 7 days a week. And of course, you know it is Mars, aka Marlon Beardo, the Bearded Weirdo, the Stella Rosa Casanova, the Great Wonder, the curate of culture, and the Shud Knight of this podcast game. You can catch me at Mars_entertainment on Instagram. You can catch me at DITD Studios on Instagram as well. On YouTube, you can find me at DITDAD. That's Down in the Den After Dark. You can find me at the Down in the Den TikTok. And you can find me I run the Off Punishment page because Short Man refuses to use his social media. So you can catch me at all of those places. any time of week. If you're interested in coming on one of our lives, we'd love to have you. We appreciate everybody that commented. Quay, TJ, thank you. Next time we want to see you on the show. We appreciate you guys for this 50th hip hop anniversary. We'll be getting back into more crazy antics the next episode. We got Blow the Whistle coming up soon. More Black Air Force energy, and maybe we can get another off punishment episode taped before September. Who knows? We'll see. But guys, for the Mars Entertainment family, for keeping up with the Cal Jones, for Big Gerald, we thank you guys for tuning in. Watch the replay at midnight. We'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.